than 9,000 flights have been canceled in the United States of America since Friday night, reciting the recent winter storm, which they say for New York and New Jersey is the worst in 4 years. On top of everything else that's going on, let's talk about this, what it means for you if you're an expat, what it means for you if you were planning on traveling at the top of 2026. It looks like you may want to stay grounded because right now, there are nearly 10,000 flights across the US that have been canceled.
Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's another. So guys, make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So let's get right into it.
Now, New York and New Jersey are absorbing the heaviest impact of the severe winter storm that again has not been seen in about 4 years. With crews timed out, highways closed, airports stalled, people stuck, and planes sitting in idle, frozen runways while travelers wait to go absolutely nowhere. And this was not a glitch. This was a system that was beyond stressed. JFK, Newark, and LaGuardia are not just airports. They are control points, some of the most focused areas of air traffic inside of the United States of America. When they freeze, movement across the US and the aviation network slows or stops and comes to a complete halt. Now, flights in Texas, Florida, California, Europe, and the Caribbean are clearly going to be affected because the people who were at JFK were maybe going out to some of those areas. And so those cancellations are really hitting that part of the globe really, really hard at this time. And listen, this is because the aircraft and crews could not be repositioned. What looks like inconvenience on the surface is definitely something deeper underneath. This is what centralized mobility failure looks like in real time.
Yeah, it's just saying it. To me, it's kind of clear in a way where judgment is there, where although this, like we said in the last video, winter is coming, right? And that's something that we forgot about because, you know,
Captain
just for
Ibrahim said that was his quote, just to make that clear. He said a black winter is coming.
Yeah, so just for us being digital nomads and, you know, living here in Africa, we really don't see snow. We really don't think about, you know, it's December, January, February. Oh, the snow is coming, right? So I know for us, it's like, oh, wow. But this is a little bit, that's close to 10,000 flights.
Yeah.
Canceled, grounded. Like, you get what I'm saying? And just for me, I know it's so much going on in the world, but you still got to think about how the Most High is bringing out what he needs to bring out to really press a pause on America, press a pause on what people's lifestyle used to be, right? So that's why we always say you have to be strategic. You got to know when to travel. You really do. You got to know which day of the week is the best to travel, which day of the year is best to travel to. So this might be a pause for a couple months. So are you prepared for that? You know, Did you plan to say, hey, I'm leaving in January, February? Because you might not be, or you might have to take a whole different route.
Right, but the flights aren't even going to the Caribbean, so it's like, dang, what would be the route? Because once certain airports in the US are grounded, there's not really a way out. I mean, it's not like the continent of Africa where you could be in a Tanzania or Mauritius. And, you know, Mauritius, you can fly to Dubai pretty quickly. You can fly to India pretty quickly. You can get to Madagascar pretty quickly. But with the way the U.S. weather, the government, the systems have just been condensed with so much stress, they just can't take it anymore. And so once those areas are shut down, that's it. Now, if you are on the continent of Africa, like the actual continent, then you know you can take buses to multiple countries, depending on which region you're in. Maybe not West Africa, but definitely Southern Africa, definitely Eastern Africa. But let's talk about why this escalated so fast, because literally everything seemed fine on Thursday or Friday. So winter weather, of course, is not new. Cancellations are not new. What changed is the density of dependency. Modern travel depends on perfect non-flawed alignment. Planes have to arrive on time. Crews have to rotate on schedule. Runways have to stay operational, and roads must remain open to support ground transportation. When freezing rain hits major hubs simultaneously, airplanes do not wait for chaos. They pre-cancel thousands of flights in advance, as they should, because you definitely want the travelers to be safe to prevent total system collapse. Once duty time limits are exceeded, crews cannot legally fly anymore. Once crews are stranded, planes sit. Once those planes sit, the backlog grows exponentially. And let me be honest with you. We told you on our thumbnail of this video that there is no getting out. But that's not an exaggeration. That's literally what people who are stranded in the airport are seeing right now in real time. For many travelers, and chime in the comments if you are trapped in the airport right now in America, in New York, in New Jersey, in LaGuardia, wherever you are. There was literally no way out for these travelers. Their flights were instantly unavailable, Amtrak routes were disrupted, highways closed due to ice and accidents, and rental cars sold out within hours. Imagine you're trying to leave. America's the type of country that's not walkable. Like, it's not walkable at all. Like, you have to get a rental car, a Uber, somebody to take you out of that airport to go somewhere that's usually going to be pretty far away. And this matters because mobility is not only about travel. It's access to work, access to your family, access to healthcare, access to safety. And when these systems lock, people realize too late how little control they actually have in the States.
Yes, family. So look, you definitely have to realize that control is something very important. And if you do not take control of your life, if you do not do the research, just how we was talking about all these flights canceling, you get what I'm saying? Everything is starting to ramp up, and there's stuff flying in the skies and stuff like that.
The airstrikes?
The airstrikes, it's a lot going on, right? So just my advice, you have to take control of the information that you are intaking and how you are outputting the energy that needs to be in this world, because it is very important, because control is getting taken away step by step, slowly but surely. Control is going to be obsolete. So you have to come back to your senses and be like, okay, what is the best strategy for me? What is the best thing for me to, or I should say, how can I plan my exodus out? Because it's not just like you're just going to get up and go. You really got to have a plan. You got to have a strategy. Like, what can you do? So this is why, for us, we created the Mature Adult Intensive, which we are starting tomorrow, Monday,
Cohort 5.
December 29th, Cohort 5. And this is what we really go deep into. This is what we really get into with the flights, with the right countries that people needs to choose. Because if you are in a West Africa now, if you go to West Africa, it might be some areas where you cannot fly into or out of.
Or they'll cancel flights in that region.
And that's going to cost you a lot of time. That's going to cost you a lot of energy. That's going to run into your finances. So you really have to be strategic about your move abroad. As we just was reading, the Caribbean, you can't even go to the Caribbean for this time being right now. So even if you wanted to go to, Jamaica or something, it's like, you gotta really understand that control is slowly getting taken away, and you just gotta adjust and keep moving. It's no more just going with the flow. You have to go with what you know.
Yeah, we have to talk about what's inside of the intensive as well, because the lack of knowledge really can destroy your relocation plans. We are not in 2020 anymore. We say that so often. It was like you could just hop on a plane, fly anywhere, and everything would be safe. There are so many wars that have popped off since 2020. Literally, Russia, Ukraine, airstrikes in Nigeria, airstrikes happened earlier in Iran. We've heard of people getting caught and stuck in Egypt. And so this is why in the Mature Adult Intensive, we go over 5 live group consulting sessions. We created a curriculum pack, a readiness workbook, private Q&A in office hours, peer cohort accountability, and trusted tools across different regions. We've done the research into geopolitics, international policy, healthcare, finance, insurance, and paperwork so you don't have to. If you are feeling exhausted from everything happening right now, check out the links in the description because these times are insane. But let's continue talking about why you cannot risk or have the ability to lose your travel plans in 2026, because at the end of the day, like you were saying, we're not sure what travel is going to look like in the next couple of weeks. If the US will get battered with even more winter storms that are going to have those of you who are aching and edgy to get out and you were just really ready to get out, you're going to be feeling like, oh man, I can't get out right now. What can I do? Obviously, you can strategize, because at the end of the day, with flights being grounded, you can't miss medical appointments. There's physical stress that goes with these flights being delayed, last minute hotel scrambling, and many people watching this event are saying right now, I'm so glad that was not me. But that relief is only temporary.
And we didn't even, I know this is not, well, no, this definitely is, and this relates with flights. The government shutdown. It's on pause right now. So in January,
The end of the month.
in January, the government's going to shut down again. And remember what happened last time when it was shut down? Flights canceled. So all this is happening, and then the government shutdown is going to happen. So more flights is probably going to be canceled. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be people trying to do certain things and they can't. So do not forget about that government shutdown.
Yeah. The end of January, I think it's like January 29th or something like that. And there's 2 types of expats that usually work with us. It's those who have never been abroad, then those who are already abroad, who have residency in a Mexico and a Thailand, and are like, you know what? I don't want to be in these regions anymore. I want to diversify into Southeastern Africa with low corruption, with a residency index that is going to give you 5 to 10 years, that is tax-free or at least super low tax. This is the system and the infrastructure that you need right now. But it's not about fear. It's all about strategy and planning, because the question is no longer if mobility disruption is going to happen again. At the end of the day, we can almost guarantee that mobility disruption is going to happen again within the next 60 days. Mark our words and come back to this video. Just like you were saying about the government shutdown, that's going to happen again at the end of the month. The real question is whether you will be forced to react or already positioned with the options that you need as an expat going abroad. And this is what preparedness actually looks like, if you need to understand. Having legal residency options outside of just one country, maintaining flexible travel corridors. We go over this for our own family all the time, maintaining those flexible travel corridors to see like what regions in Africa are safe, what regions in Asia are safe, what regions in the islands of the sea are safe to travel through, when they're most affordable, when they're more expensive. Not being tied to one airport hub or season. Structuring your life movement is optional, but you are going to want to make it urgent. People who already live with this type of flexibility watch this shutdown differently. We are not scrambling, we are observing. The difference literally matters, because this is a quiet window for decision making. Not panic, not urgency, but pure clarity. You can see the limits on the system without the chaos that you're looking for inside. So this was all from the weather. This wasn't like governmental or any big event that happened. This was just the weather. But you need to ask the right questions while the pressure is still external. Where could I live seasonally? What countries would allow long-term stays? How do I protect access to both healthcare and banking? What does life look like if travel pauses for weeks and weeks and weeks, not days? These are not extreme questions. These are mature adult questions.
Yeah, that's deep right there. It's you gotta just know how to move around, and we say it time after time, because I know some people think long term might be 6 months or 3 months. No, you can find residencies for 5 years, 10 years. So you just gotta know what you're doing. Like, that's what it comes down to, because it's a lot that goes with that, with the healthcare and banking, your finances. How do you move money? It doesn't have to take days to move money. You can move it instantly. It can take an hour or so, and it can get to the next party internationally. So it's something that our people really got to understand. Like, hey, we did it. We're doing it. We are doing it. With a family of 8. So it's like, we're just trying to be here for you that's watching, so you won't make the same mistakes that a lot of people make, that we made. So
we didn't
you
make
can
those
prosper.
same mistakes.
So you can prosper. So this is why we are doing this, to let people know it's getting cold. It's getting cold, right? And you are the light, so you got to stay hot.
Yeah, 9,000 flights have been canceled. Let us know what you think about it down below. Did this mess up your travel plans? If it did, try to be patient. I'll tell you a short story. During COVID-19, we wanted to exit and come to Africa quicker. We wanted to be here May or April of 2020. We had to settle for August of 2020 because our son's passport was delayed. But being delayed is not denial. So be patient if you're someone that's like, I had my flights booked for December, January, February, and you're just kind of waiting to see, like, it's okay. This delay might enable you to strategize better. This delay might enable you to perform better research, because remember, that airstrike just happened. This delay might enable you to get more things in order. It's okay that you're delayed, because you are not denied for your exodus outside of America.
Yes, it's time, family. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.